Moin. Sollte klappen. Moin Leute und somit herzlich willkommen zum ersten Stream auf diesem Kanal. Denn heute bin ich auf diesem Kanal unterwegs. Boah, was ist das für eine schlechte Grafik hier? Oh, Helena. Eieiei. Ja gut. Ich habe hier einfach das vorbereitet. Denn Leute, ich weiß nicht, ob ihr es wisst, aber Leute, die Megaboxen kommen zurück. Und das ist richtig geil. Hallo, Brawl Stars? Hier, zack. Leute, was glaubt ihr? Wird es eine Art Event sein? Oder wird es eher für immer bleiben? Was glaubt ihr? Was sind eure Predictions, Leute? Und schreibt mal gerne rein, was habt ihr? Ich frage gleich, was habt ihr aus den Star Drops bekommen? Bam. Boah, Leute, wir haben schon 380 Abos. Richtig ehrenhaft. Von euch. Ehre. Okay, warte, ich muss hier kurz noch ein bisschen was einrichten. Weil irgendwie die Auflösung ist Schmutz. Sind wir uns ehrlich, ich weiß nicht warum. Ich könnte es theoretisch auch nochmal auf einem anderen Programm laufen lassen. Falls die wirklich schlecht ist. Dafür mache ich kurz so, perfekt. Ich kann es hier nebenbei einrichten, während die so ein bisschen trocknen, ne? Ja, perfekt. Okay. Leute. Okay, das schaffe ich doch nicht. Beides gleichzeitig. Eieiei. Wir haben eine Stimme. Freut euch auf jeden Fall, dass die Boxen zurückkommen. Das ist cool. Check ich aber auch, weil... Bro. Die Boxen habe ich ehrlich vermisst. Ich habe die Boxen vermisst. Bin ich dir ganz ehrlich. Kannst du sagen, was du willst. Es war einfach OG. Warte, wir haben hier... Leute, ich komme gleich.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there.
Ich werde jetzt kurz einrichten, mich muten und ich mache jetzt ein bisschen E-Sports an. Das könnt ihr einfach schauen.
You considering Eclipse art?
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see how food is going to come through and kind of change things up because, as we said, this is a little bit of a different roster. No Drage on here, and Drage going over to Angel Boy's team of Ogre Cheeky. So they've got OG, Rom, and Enraged on this squad here. Kenny, give me the dossier.
I mean, to be honest with you, this is nearly completely different than where they started this year. Sure, it's the same organization, and to Trav's point as well, this was a huge rivalry last year. It feels different, though. It's a new set of faces, and all really good in their own right. Enraged is a fellow grinder. He has been digging deep in scrims. I know that's a reason that OG mentioned that they ended up going with the Sky when they moved on from Drage. I respect that. They still have a lot to prove, though. They're chasing. They're an 8th right now in the region. They need a big month. You only got 2 opportunities opportunities left. It's this month and next month. That's it. And at best, I feel like LCQ's only thing they can really get, I mean, jumping from 8th to something like a 1st, a 2nd, a 3rd for Worlds would be crazy. And that starts right here against one of the best teams in this region. That is not an easy task.
I like Rom there showing a little bit of the love to the rest of the scene. It's kind of traditional in big sports to go ahead and do the jersey exchange. He's got the Bobby t-shirt. He's got the MMA jersey up there as well. So, you know, I just like to see as we get deeper and deeper into our sport, you know, how the culture kind of expands. And of course, SK at their home base over in Cologne, getting things ready. This is also the support that we've seen out of the SK organization over the years has been really, really strong. And you want to talk about support, you got to talk about the coach here, Trav. Such a big part of this team.
Yeah, I mean, Pedro's been here since the start of SK and Brawl Stars, and that just kind of goes to show how much of a valuable, piece of the puzzle he is at this organization. He's here, year in, year out, ready to build new rosters when things change, and ready to kind of battle with them month by month as well. Really does help them out hugely, whether that's through draft occasionally or if that's just through the pure mentality that he brings to the team.
Well, great stuff. We'll return to the desk after this one. Kenny and I grab the mic, and 87% of y'all out there in TV land say that SK Gaming have the upper hand. Something I always like to point out, Kenny, is that this is not indicative of the win percentage, of how much tilted in the favor that this is. I don't think SK Gaming are this drastically above Foot. Realistically, though, Kenny, where do you think this matchup lies?
I mean, 80-20 for me, to be honest with you. I really
don't
think it's that far off, if I'm honest.
Word.
Foot, for me, haven't shown up quite yet as much as something like an SK Gaming. I think Foot's really good. Obviously, if you were to power rank the teams in Europe, I think they're fairly in that top 8 consideration. But these guys are coming together a little bit. They're still finding their footing. It's new guys coming into the fray as well, and that's a really difficult thing to do halfway through the year. This is an SK Gaming roster that's won a monthly finals, that we've seen a huge performance from on multiple occasions. I don't think Foot's a bad team by any means. I think SK Gaming have just had that consistency throughout the entire year and have been really good at that.
We'll jump right in here to our draft, and right away we see Draco. It's early in the monthly finals. I expect Draco to be absurd, and this might be the game that we see him played, and then every other one banned out. Over in APAC earlier today, Kenny, we saw a lot of Draco ban. He's just so strong in so many different situations that first pick overall for Foot, yeah, that makes sense to me.
I agree. I think, honestly, removing this Shelly pick 2 makes a lot of sense. People are still figuring out a little bit how to deal with this guy, right? I mean, to your point, he has been absolutely insane. He was the most banned brawler in APAC, just by a smidge. Melody right there with him. But I think it's a brawler that's really difficult to deal with right now. He's got a gadget that literally makes him indestructible, and now they remove one of the counters into him that I imagine is going to be on the better end, and they add one of the best support and one of the easiest ways to heal him up and keep him alive even longer. Even though Angelo and Buster on the other side, that's a powerhouse of a composition.
Yeah, pretty insane here composition-wise for Foot. I mean, one of the cool things about our game is how it's always changing. You always got new brawlers in here, so almost a 70% win rate for Angelo on the left-hand side, but that's a win rate in a world without Draco on the server, so definitely going to change things as we jump on in here with this matchup. Angelo teamed up with Buster and Cordelius on the other side. I mean, Cordelius is sort of tried and true when it comes to brawlers like this, just Draco being a problem. Take Draco out of the equation. That winds up being a good way to solve for X.
I think that's a great point. And honestly, Draco, as good as he is in APAC, did go 0 for 3. In all fairness, at least we're able to figure it out a little bit. I still think Draco's insane. I think it's safe.
Small sample size.
Has been playing on the ladder. They know what this guy can do. I don't blame OG and the team for going for this. We'll just have to see how it plays out. I think it's a really strong comp for SK2.
Well, first blood goes the way of Rom. Draco doesn't even really come through that much. It's all just Byron bolts. Now here comes Enraged, busting through the wall. Nice attack onto Draco. Looked like OG wanted to go all in, and SK Gaming made sure to say absolutely not to that. That said, they dropped everything on the Draco, leaving the other 2 members of Foot to just clean up, and it's 6 gems in the pocket for our red team.
Huge start here for the red roster, and now OG going to be running down this left-hand in. Gets pulled, but does have a gadget and more heals available.
Oh my.
Impossible to deal with.
Bro.
The healer-Draco combination, just deadly.
mean, what? Do we need casters for this? Here comes OG doing his thing, coming on in, and he's just 1v2ing these players. No help from the support, doesn't need it. Last stand extends his life just long enough, and Food's gonna start the countdown.
I mean, at this point, how on earth are we not banning Draco? I think we've gotten a great demonstration of that. 12 on the shot clock, and once again, OG just running it down, popping an indestructible gadget. Joker somehow dies in that scenario, and Rage cleans things up, and Foot come away unscathed. This brawler is unbelievable, F-Dot.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the very first engagement we see, Draco honestly gets handled, but Foot's opponents used all of their resources to handle Draco, leaving the other two members to just take over. And then after the fact, like I said, we saw on the left-hand side, that last stand gadget keeps him alive at 1 HP, and you can't do anything with it. God forbid he's got to heal on the other side from Byron. I mean, what do? OG just walked to 2 players and called it a day. It's a little rough. Getting isolated like that, though, not the best plan. SK Gaming first on the boards, 4 gems.
OG with another takedown, and with Cordelius going down so early there, it's really difficult to remove OG from the equation, right? You have to at least put him in the Shadow Realm, do something to get him out of the picture, and they just can't find a way to do so. Good news for SK Gaming is they're dominating the gym count at least. They have to hold on to this lead, and that's without positioning here. They're going to be locked out of the fort, so to say, in the mid here. They're going to have to find a way back in, and there's a dragon waiting on the other end.
OG on the left side looking for Yashi, but it's going to be Lana that he walks into and falls over at. Curious target prioritization as Yoshi's starting to walk people down. That's the aggression that you're going to want out of SK Gaming for sure. Draco wants to play over aggressively, and I guess you fight fire with fire. So far, it's working out. 9 gems for SK. Make it 10, and we count down from 15.
Joker trying
Never mind.
Off here. But OG's in his face. They've got every one of them now, too. The heals going through, the gadgets, the supers, all of the utility being used. They drag him down, do get a reset, but there's plenty of gems still in Foot's pocket.
Oh, tough stuff here. Yashi on the right side. Everybody sees him now out of the bushes. OG trying to deal with it and gone to the Shadow Realm and gone all the way out. 3 is where we stop the countdown. And SK Gaming are walking back home. Lana is not safe here.
Difficult situation. Going coast to coast with all these gyms right now, and they have to find another way. There goes that indestructible gadget. Doesn't last long enough, though. Lanan with a major play for his team. Somehow SK Gaming survive, and this is all tied up.
Really, really well done. And I mean, I guess this is what we are going to have to expect with respects to Draco, is that he's going to play extremely aggressive. Everything about him tells us that he wants to go aggressive, right? The idea that the super is going to give him a bunch of healing, the idea that last stand is there. Obviously, you've got a Byron in the back line to really assist that. He wants to hit that pedal to the metal and not look backwards. And so how do you deal with that? You have to be just as aggressive. That's at least what SK is saying, as Yashi jumps over the wall, looks for OG, and there it is. Buster gets the last hit. SK Gaming are staring directly at the Draco player.
That was an excellent counterplay, and that's a big change from what we saw in game number 1, where Foot just ran away with it. We've got Shadow Realms popped early. OG no longer able to take on Joker and Lanan. They have to be good with the comms here because OG's lurking. They do end up going down, but nonetheless, Joker is able to survive, and once again, they're going to start with a strong lead.
Important kill there from Rom. If Rom's not able to take that player down, then we wind up in a much different scenario with SK Gaming kind of waterfalling over and over. But OG being kept at bay.
Moin Leute, ich hoffe ihr hört mich jetzt. Moin Kokosnuss Avocado, bist ja OG hier. Ja, ich war kurz weg, ich musste ein bisschen den Stream richten. Leute, ich starte das Stream jetzt kurz neu und dann ist es viel bessere Qualität und so. Drückt einfach auf meinen Kanal und wir sehen uns gleich im neuen Stream. Ich freue mich auf jeden Fall, Leute. Und ich würde sagen, bis gleich. Ciao.